Good morning. Harbor Freight had these for $19.99. Now I have bought these before for $14.99, but I really needed one now. I couldn't wait for the good sale. Might have been last week, I don't know, but I don't remember seeing these. So this is to mount a flat panel TV. Once you mount this, there's not a lot of tilt on these. They'll come down and go back up, but the bottom stays fixed. So there is a little bit of movement. Tilt says 0 to 12 degrees. It's actually a nice design. Has all of these spaces. You need to find dead center. You get one screw on this side and one screw on this side. That can be any of these first four, and it'll work fine. So let's see what's in it. Even comes with a manual. I'll do my look for exploded view diagram and see what they've got in something like this. Okay, so this is their exploded view diagram showing you all the parts, but it does identify them, and it gives the numbers. M4 by 20, M5 by 20, lag bolt. Well, gives you good information. So what have we got? Seems to be two of these. These attached to the back of the TV. And this is the tilt function. You loosen this, and that'll come forward. And of course you tighten it up to stay where you want it to. Or you can put it back, and that's absolutely flush. Oh, item 61807, made in China. Now there is a big surprise. You get a hardware pack. I always think it's funny how they do this. They put all these in and then heat shrink them as they go. I always thought that was funny. But these are the lag bolts for your wall. They give inserts for drywall. I do not recommend you use that. Use the lag bolts into a stud. They've got different screws, 4 different kinds, depending on what size TV you have. Different manufacturers use different sizes. And there's star washers, which are lock washers, regular washers, and some spacers. You're going to use the lag bolts. You're going to use one set of the screws, one set of the washers, one set of the star washers, probably the whole set of spacers. And that looks pretty good. We have a lot left over. Now this costs $19.99. They have a different model which is fancier and has more tilt distance, and it's $50 on sale, by the way. So for me, $20 for this is a great price, and I have several of these. I've used them for several of our flat screen TVs in the house. Now this TV is going to be an odd TV. We bought a new monitor for the old security system, so we're taking the monitor that was on the old security system and putting in the hobby room. The reason we switched the monitors is the backlight burned out of the old security system monitor. But it's still, if you're in the hobby room working on hobbies of all things, you can have TV, watch stuff. And the locking mechanism is kind of cheap. You hook this, and then to hook the bottom one, you actually have to get in there and tighten this up under this lip. And from what I can see, this is a universal mount. It goes either way. Okay, so let's go put this together and see how it goes. Good evening. Welcome to our hobby room. We want to mount a TV right here. And this is the Harbor Freight TV mount. I started by marking the center of where I want the mount and marking 2 studs. So just going to install this real quick. It only takes a few minutes. Lighting in here is just horrible. It's good enough for hobbies, but it's not really good enough for videoing. This mount is universal. Either way is the same thing. So I want it centered on that. I want to get it level, and I want to mark where I want to put the bolts. Now I need 2 bolts. Where I put them isn't that important as long as they're in the studs. And I'm going to be a little unconventional in that I'm going to drive those through the drywall into the stud. Got my new handy dandy Bauer 20 volt lithium impact driver with the 1.5 amp hour battery fully charged. So let's see how it does. Okay, so now that I've got that, I can approximate where I want it. And it's a little tight. Okay, if you have an 80-inch TV, this thing is supposed to go up to 80-inch. If you have an 80-inch TV, you want to put bolts on the bottom of this. Wow, nice. Okay, so we got that mounted. These will mount on the back of the TV, and then when you hang the TV, you'll hang it like that. So back with the TV, it's a 40-inch, I see that on the label here. We've had this the longest of any TV we've had, and the backlight finally burned up. It's not worth fixing. It's not a smart TV. You have to have something like a Amazon Fire to use it. Someone was giving away one exactly like it. So we put the replacement in service on the security system, and then we're putting this in the hobby room so we can watch TV while we're in there. Not that we watch TV while we're in there, but seems like a good thing to do. So here are the mounts, and this clips over the mount, and then this has to screw up to actually keep it from pivoting this way. It really isn't going to pivot that way, but it's still wise to do that. Okay, so these go here. Now, where you mount these is going to be important about center of balance, how much it comes out, things like that. So I'm actually going to go a little low to about there. There's 2 screws. Okay, so they give you 4 sizes of screws with associated washers and lock washers, and some spacers if you need them. I think we're going to need this size. That is supposed to, these 4 sizes are supposed to cover all the TVs made in the world. Don't know if that's true or not, but it's always worked well for me. I try to use Harbor Freight screwdrivers to work on Harbor Freight items. So let's see how this fits. It's going to work well, so I'll line it up. And it just so happens that while this one lines up, this one is hidden by the brace. So I've got to go up one to have a lower mount. So there we go. Not a big difference, but it is a difference. So now I've got the screw holes lined up to where I want them. I've got to put the spacers on. I think these are meant for a TV that doesn't have a flat back or a bow in the back, but it doesn't matter, still want to use them. First thing I want to get is a star washer, which is a lock washer, and a regular washer. And that's how I'm going to put those in. So I'm going to line these up roughly. Good. Okay, next thing, they give you all of these extra pieces because they give you enough screws here to mount 4 different TVs. Okay, now that I've got this mounted, I've got to go put it in there on the mount. But first, I want to set this. As you can see, these let the TV tilt. So loosen them, pull this forward. When that's out on the wall, I can either have it flat or I can tilt it out from the wall. Now while it's mounted high, I want it flat to the wall. I don't want it tipped down. This mount lets you do that, but I don't want to use that. So I'm going to push that all the way in, tighten that up. So in case you're wondering, it's about 100 degrees in the shop today. To get this to mount and hold on the bottom, I'm going to have to turn these out just to get them on. Then once they're on, I'll have to reach up under with a screwdriver and tighten those. Now, a more expensive mount, which is about 50 bucks, actually has a cam release. So you pull a string and it releases that. For 20 bucks, you don't get that. I also noticed these were on sale at the parking lot sale for about $16. So this is ready to go. I had to bring it out to the shop, not because I needed to bring it out to the shop. I had to bring it out to the shop so I could film it. There's not a lot of room in the hobby room where this goes. I didn't have a flat place to lay it on. It's about 100 degrees in the shop today, so it's pretty hot. So I'll go back inside where the air conditioning is, and I'll film mounting this, and we'll be done. Okay, so the lighting's horrible, but still lighting. So we've already put this in. So there's the TV, and there's no other way to mount it. Okay, you want to be absolutely sure that both of those are attached before you let go of it. Make sure it's going to carry the weight. Okay, now comes the hardest part for me anyway, and that is to reach up in here and tighten up these screws so it doesn't slide off the bottom. Will it slide off the bottom? Personally, I don't think so, but I'm not willing to take the chance of running a TV. This is actually one place that I could get this cordless screwdriver in there, I would. You want to snug that up right tight with the frame. If you don't put it all the way up, it'll keep it from sliding out because it reaches the retainer clip, but also it can be lifted up and come off, and we don't want that. So we've got to put that bolt all the way up until it's snug. Okay, so I snugged that up. Now it doesn't rock back and forth. And there's another one right here on this side. I'll spare you the agony of watching me put it in. Okay, as you can see, it's tight to the wall now. I have no thought that that would fall off. Completed TV. So there we go. That's how you install the TV mount. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.